Rick, you guys allowed 97 in Toronto 2 nights ago, only 86 today. Do you feel like those raw numbers are reflective of the defensive quality you've had? And if so, where do you feel like you're seeing progress on that end of the floor these last couple games?
Well, we're starting to understand what it takes to win games. It takes an unbending commitment to the defensive end and transition defense. Last time we played Toronto, I went through this before the game. It was 63 points in the first 8 seconds, and then we did better the second game. Tonight I think they had 31 in the first 8 seconds of the first half, and then in the second half they had very few. And so we were better. But right now, it's important to understand style-wise that aesthetics are not important. What's important is possession of the ball, physicality without unnecessary fouls, certainly rebounding, and offensive execution. We did some good things tonight. We had some mistakes, but overall, a lot of good things.
Just so I'm clear, you're talking about total points scored in the first 8 seconds of a possession by your opponent with that stat, yes? And if so, what is so telling about that to you from games that's been good and bad?
Well, they answered back a lot of times in the first half, and they're a great answer back team. You guys remember the games last year. They were fast games. I mean, this team plays fast, and they shoot a lot of early threes. And, we were able to limit some of that tonight, which was good. I mean, they took 32. That's a relatively low number for them. But look, each game's going to be a little different. I just liked our grit tonight, and that's what we're going to have tomorrow and Monday and Wednesday.
What did you like about Jay Huff with that opening group today?
It seemed like the right time to give it a look. I haven't watched the film yet, so I don't know. But look, Jay's been doing a really good job with rim protection. He gives us a different look offensively. And so, we'll see what's what for tomorrow. We'll see where things are with Andrew and whether he's able to go or not. And Chicago's a different team. They do some of the same things, but they do some different things.
How much do you think the progress has to do with these guys just figuring out who each other is as a defender? I mean, just in terms of where somebody's going to be, the communication factor. I mean, how far do you think that how much do you think that explains just the improvement on defense, just everybody kind of knowing each other? There's
been improvement with communication, but it's defense in today's NBA has to be coached hard. Has to be coached hard by the head coach, by the defensive coordinator, the defensive coaches, and really it has to be coached hard by the players to themselves. They have to understand its importance, and they have to believe in its importance. And look, if they don't believe it's important, they're not going to play. They're not. I mean, tonight, Mathurin did some really good things defensively. I was ready to tackle Walker on the first play of the second half when he casually let Middleton get wide open for a shot, and I mentioned it to him pretty strong in a huddle, and then, after the game. I mean, this is no time to celebrate, after winning your third win in 19 or 20 games or whatever it is. We've got to keep working. We've got to keep working. And, the guys on our roster that came in this league thinking that this was going to be about aesthetics and skill and, a rhythm and all that stuff ain't going to be playing on this team. They're just not. That's not where we are. And so we've seen some growth, but it's going to be an ongoing task and challenge.
Just, that being said, Pascal's a guy that you've talked about, just the importance of his leadership and just what he's done to keep this team in games every night. Just what impressed you? What's continued to impress you about how he's continued to show up and play as he has, and what impressed you about him tonight in particular?
Look, he decided that we were not going to lose this game tonight, and so he was ultra aggressive, but within our system and a really adjusted system and our spacing elements and stuff like that. He was tremendous, and I thought he was as good as he was on offense. He was equally good and maybe better defensively in rebounding the ball.
Just how helpful is it when you can? Obviously, he can create as a 6'8", 6'9" guy. I mean, when you can trust somebody like that to bring the ball up and initiate offense. Just how much does that help, especially with some of the lineups you were putting out there tonight? When you have some length defensively, but he also gives you a guy that can create.
I mean, I give you 4 words. He's a great player. And that's why we made the deal for him. And I believe he's gotten better since he's been here. And as it's gotten more difficult, a lot of veterans in that situation would lose interest. They would start questioning things. They'd come up with aches and pains out of nowhere, things like, he ain't doing that. He ain't doing that. He's committed to this organization and this franchise and these fans. And we're committed to him.
Just one more real quick. Just TJ just continues to sort of stack performances over the last week or so. Just how much do you see him to sort of take a step each day, and how much do you think he got everybody sort of organized tonight?
Well, he's doing better. That's obvious. And so the return to play, the runway to return to play is arduous. It takes time. There's going to be some clunky things to it with anybody coming back from injury. I thought he worked through that stuff in a very professional manner, and now he's positioned himself to where he's got his rhythm back, got his legs, and give Ben Shepherd and Ray J. Dennis a lot of credit tonight. They helped create a situation where TJ didn't even have to get to 20 minutes, and that was extremely important.
Marie Pascal.